I'm very quickly losing faith in Disney's What Should I Do series. The first one that I watched was not too bad. The second one was terrible because it ended without giving a resolution, and unfortunately, the new girl is in the same direction. This was released in 1970, is directed by Les Clark, and they could probably argue that they're leaving it without a resolution to ask the viewers to give a resolution. For example, if they're in a classroom with a teacher, the teacher can invite conversation about what's happened and what they would do. Unfortunately, that's not enough because that's relying on the classroom teacher having the answers. And teachers are humans. They not necessarily are going to be able to come up with an answer on the spot. Whereas when you've been writing an animation, working on an animation, you have the time to actually come up with an ending. So I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out that they're showing these situations, but they're not showing what the resolution is. To me, that just spreads the message that there isn't a resolution because they couldn't come up with one. So why do they think children will be able to? Again, they could argue that it's for classroom discussion to come up with an answer, but you are relying on a teacher who might be watching this for the first time with the pupils to then immediately have a resolution. And that's not always going to be the case because sometimes it does take time to think about things. So I can understand if that's what they've gone with, but I think it's just a cop-out. When you have an educational short, you're supposed to teach the viewer, usually a child, about the right way to do something, not just tell them the wrong ways, because it's all good and well knowing the wrong way, but how does that help if you don't know the right way? This one is all about a little girl called Mary. She is a new girl, and she's all on her own. She wants to play with the other girls, but the other girls are not enthusiastic in different levels. One of them is very seriously not enthusiastic. The new girl is weird. We don't want her to play with us. A very nasty character. Her other friends, the nasty girl's other friends, are... Some of them are thinking, well, maybe I could be friends with this new girl, but then I might lose my current friends. One of the girls is aware of what it feels like to be new and on their own and how difficult that is, so they can relate. But again, they're not really sure it's worth sticking their nose in and stirring the pot, as it were. So I like that we have a lot of different perspectives. I feel like there will be at least one child in this animation that every child watching it can relate to, whether they've been the new person or they've not been sure how to approach a new person, or indeed, hopefully not, they're the nasty child who doesn't care about anybody but themselves. And it's nice to have these different perspectives and to show that actually these are not the best ways to be thinking, but it doesn't offer a resolution. And I just feel like that's such a cop-out. It could have presented numerous ways. And off the top of my head, I can't think of any because I have just watched this. And that's precisely my point with if a teacher is going to be watching this for the first time, they're going to have to come up with a solution pretty quickly. Otherwise, everybody's just going to be thinking, well, what was the point in that? Because it tells us what not to do, but you can't physically do nothing. You have to do something, whether that's talking to the child, ignoring the child, the new girl, or anything else. You have to do something. It's impossible to do nothing. But if you know the wrong things, that's good. But then what's left? How do you know it's the right or the wrong thing? And I just feel like it's a tremendous cop-out and very disappointing. So yes, it's great for sparking discussions, but no, it's not good for teaching children the right way to behave and the right way to treat people. So it's got its benefits, absolutely. It's very well animated. Well, moderately well animated. It's not too bad. Even for the 70s, they could have done a little bit better, but it's okay. But I just feel like it's a huge wasted opportunity because they had a chance to explain how to treat somebody nicely and they haven't done it. Yes, it's great to know how not to treat somebody, but as I said, that's all well and good. But if you don't know how to treat them nicely, how do you know that the thing you're thinking of is the right thing to do? Children need to be told the difference between right and wrong because sometimes it's not obvious when you're young and you're still learning and you're interacting with a lot of different people, new children, teachers, grown-ups. It's not always clear how to treat one person versus another person. But obviously everybody should be treated with kindness. But how do they know what kindness looks like unless you display it? You need to show what kindness looks like. And unfortunately, the new girl just doesn't do it.